anything 'cause I'm on my phone.
We need to get you an iPad or something too, so you can do
Yeah,
that, or at least, well, start back putting your tripod back up.
yeah, I could do that. I've got a phone. It's not hooked to anything, but if you're on Wi-Fi, you can do whatever you want. I could hotspot to that, and then I'll have a phone that I could do my sharing and one for my video.
Yep, that's a way to do it.
Well, so we streaming now.
We are live. I'm about to give it a transition here in a second. I just, have the start and soon thing going.
What you got up there? You got Sean Jay's picture, that one you made.
Yep, I got that one up this time.
We're gonna have to make a shirt out of that, man. Oh, I talked to Bill Shipley. He's the main photographer at Tennessee, and he's the one responsible for most of the pictures all around the stadium. And he's going to start giving us our images for our articles and our thumbnails. All we have to do is just tell him a player. He's got a bunch of pictures of you, Billy. I forgot to tell you that. He's going to go through his archives. He said he took pictures of you for some newspapers and for some UT stuff. Um, he's a big deal.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and transition over, man. Get this thing started, and I'll let you do the intro today.
Oh, I believe I forgot how to do it. Let me get a swig of my sour head. Bang, and we'll get this thing going. Mm. What's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTubes? What's up, Twitter? And guess what? What's up, volunteerroadshow.com? You can now watch us live on volunteerroadshow.com. I don't know if I told you that, Billy, but you go to the top and it'll have a button up top that says VRS Live. You click on it and you can watch us on there just like you can YouTube, Facebook. Unbelievable. Our website's starting to kick butt, Billy. Starting to kick butt.
Well, I knew it was gonna get started once if you got your hands on it, Bobby, it's gonna work.
I
'Cause
just need time, man. I
I
just
know,
need time.
I already know, man. Just a little time you was here this past weekend, you got my computer back up to par.
Hey, everybody busts my chops about not being ready at 7 o'clock in the morning and helping Billy out. Hey, I've been on the last couple shows. I've been on here, but y'all got to remember, catfish is sometimes driving till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So don't be giving me that David Newcomb stuff. I'm telling you, I was up at 5 o'clock this morning getting unloaded.
David was on you, man.
Oh yeah, he's always on me. He remember when he sent me that text on Sunday after me and Sean talked about that air fryer. He said, "I got an extra one for you, bro." I said, "Heck yeah!" Well, I forgot to respond because Isaac was on me about one on one, and I said, "All right, I got to go take him on." And then I forgot to respond. I responded about 5 o'clock in the morning. He said something. Said, "About time you responded." I said, "I forgot."
Oh man, it's too funny.
So tell me about this debate you got going on Facebook. Let's talk about it. Let let
Ah,
let the let the philosopher join in on the debate.
man, hold on. Let me get back to it. I mean, to me, it's not a big deal, but I think they're making it out to be a kind of a big deal. And let's see, I'll tell you what it is. And so, in the Vols for Life group, um, Caleb Harrison, he put up, he said, y'all, like, and he basically talking about the recruiting that's going on right now. He said, "Y'all remember that time when Coach Pruitt grabbed JG by the face mask and the media said it was going to hurt recruiting?"
Oh yeah,
And of course, me, I didn't care about the recruiting part. To me, it was the kid that I was worried about. And
hmm
I just basically said it still wasn't the right time to do it.
yeah. It wasn't the right time, but if that's hurting recruiting, hey, Pruitt needs to do that every game then because we're kicking butt. We're supposed to be getting another big recruit this weekend.
Yeah, well, we still got some work to do until they sign that LOI, Bobby.
No, I know.
You know how I am with that. So, I mean, so this one guy, Bobby here, he he's been pretty much going back and forth. I mean, I'm just being short with it, and he said Billy Ratliff, nope. He was being a good coach apparently. JG did not mind it because he's still here. Where was he supposed to go?
Yeah,
Because if he would
yeah,
have left, you guys would have been saying he was a soft ass. He couldn't handle this or couldn't handle that, and everybody's been on him hard anyway. He's doing what he's
yeah,
supposed to do. You know what? So if he grabs Coach Pruitt's face mask, guess what? He get kicked off the team.
yeah,
My thing is with that situation. I mean, everybody's. There's gonna be former players say they like it. There's gonna be guys that don't like it. There's gonna be people that say it's cool because he's just being a coach. He's not just being a coach because he's not doing what he told the kids, his parents, he's going to do. If he said that, but I know he didn't say that because he didn't recruit him.
yeah,
Because if he's not telling these kids' parents that, hey, I'm going to get your kid here, we're going to treat him like a young man, going to treat him with respect, and we're going to make sure he get his degree and all that stuff. Well, he left that part out about treating him like a young man because if you treat any man like that, there's going to be some issues that could come from that because, like I said it back then when they did it,
yeah. I remember.
you couldn't have done that to half the players that I played with.
Oh,
And
could you
like I
imagine he
said,
doing that to Al
oh
Wilson?
hell,
Hey, let me tell you something. You might have been able. He might have been able to get away with that with Bobby C. I'm gonna tell you something. Catfish wouldn't have put up with that.
Jawan Jennings
I'm
wouldn't have
just
put up
saying.
with that.
I'm just saying.
So he chose
Nah.
the right one to do it to though.
Well, I understand there's coaches that have a hot handle, and apparently Jeremy Pruitt's one of them. But I would like to see that change. But I like the fire though. I gotta say
Yeah,
I
I
like the
mean it's
fire. My dad grabbed me by by the face mask like that. But there's a difference. I was 12 and JG's 22. You can't even say certain things to recruits at Paris Island in the Marine Corps anymore, Billy.
and that's true. And then see, so I went on and said, "Ain't nothing good about that." I mean, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the face mask. And then he's coming up with something, and then I didn't really want to say anything else after that. He said Billy Ratliff, Nick Saban, bunch of times. He ain't Nick Saban.
Yeah. Yeah, he don't have the capital.
And he said Billy Ratliff, you act as if he jerked as hard as he could. It didn't matter how hard he had to jerk him. He
Yeah.
could have did it soft. I mean, because at the time that he did it, it was because of the actions that the kid did on the field.
Yeah. Was
And
that the time when he fumbled in Alabama, or was that another time? Actually,
exactly,
heck, half the state of Tennessee would have probably done that to JG at that moment in time.
exactly.
If
But
we're
then now,
telling the truth.
hmm but look, if we wouldn't be getting these recruits right now, and that same thing will happen, they would be saying, "Oh, I wish he wouldn't have did that."
Well, you could tell his demeanor. You know, the time me and you met him in the meeting, the coaches' meetings, he just seemed like you could tell, seeing him in person. I mean, right there, 5 feet away from him, and the way he interacted with you, you could tell he's a
Oh
genuinely
yeah, most
nice
definitely.
guy.
Most definitely, man. I mean, and and they wouldn't have hired him. Coach Foreman wouldn't have hired him if he wasn't that type of guy. I mean, And Coach would probably go back and said he probably would have did that situation totally different at the time, but it was in the heat of the moment, and I understand what was going on. But yes, when we did meet him, because that's my first time actually meeting him too, Bobby.
Yeah.
My first time actually shaking his hand and him genuinely speaking and just hearing him talk. He's a real deal. You know what I
You
mean?
know that there was 3 or 4 things about going down there to the complex that just surprised me. First of all, I was walking with Big Worm, and I acted like I was somebody. I'm with the legend. But number one was I I didn't know Jeremy Pruitt wore them Brandon Burlsworth glasses. Did you notice that? Big old black glasses. I didn't think he wore glasses, but they were human. He looked like a dork,
Uh,
didn't he?
oh man, the behind the scenes.
Another thing that surprised me is how big Jim Chaney was. When he
Oh
shook my
man.
hand and I went up there to him, man, I'm telling you what, if he don't weigh 350, he don't
Oh.
weigh a pound.
Yeah, it's easy there, man. Most definitely, he's easy 350. Easy 350.
Easy.
Easy, yes. And that's.
And I thought T. Martin would have been taller. I don't know why, but he's a big young, and I thought he'd have been a lot taller. And the other thing, the last but not least, I didn't realize I was that much bigger than Coach Fulmer until I got back to the car. Me and Billy, I was going through my pictures, and I was looking at it and said, man, golly, I got to lose some weight, Billy.
Hey guys, I wish you guys could have saw him, man. He was like, man, he started drinking water and everything.
Yep. I even did some exercises that day.
Yeah, that's the day he walked around the neighborhood.
I did. I walked every inch of them that the roads in his neighborhood. I watched. I got to get some
uh,
weight off.
oh man. Hey man, we got some chats over here. Let me read a few chats real quick. Hey, David
Yeah,
Nugent
get
said, I love the new graphics, man. Sean did an amazing job. Most definitely did. He said 5 o'clock. LOL, I already had 3 hours of work in by five.
I don't
Oh
want to hear it.
man. Let's see. Joanne. Good morning, fellas. Let's see. David said, my freshman year, my tight end coach grabbed me by the face mask, and at that time, I wanted to whip him. Looking back now, I totally understand why he did it. Yep, I mean, I know. I'm just saying that the face mask that I'm talking about, guys, with Alabama, where JG fumbled or anything like that, and and people don't realize this here. They saying that he wasn't listening to Coach Pruitt is the reason why he did it. That's not why. You know what I'm saying? You're saying that JG wasn't listening to Coach Pruitt. No, because JG was doing what JG's supposed to do. Take his ass to the sideline to get on the phone with the coach or whatever to fix the stuff that they did wrong. And so happened that when he walked by, Coach grabbed him. And it looked like it was hard, but it really wasn't that hard. And I mean, I don't understand what it was. But all I was saying is it wasn't the right time to do it. And everybody's saying when is the right time to do it? Monday evening in practice.
Yep. Or
You
in the locker
fix
room
it.
when there ain't no cameras.
Is fixing it is when you do business. Is when you do that. When you are on that field, it is a business meeting. It ain't you ain't got time to punch nobody or grab them or do all this stuff. Do your job. That's what
Hmm.
I'm saying because I'm telling you guys, if Coach Former would have grabbed my face mask like that, it would have been a problem. And I'm sorry, I'm not saying that I would have hit Coach Former, but he would have probably had my helmet in his hand. And I just kept on walking.
Now there wasn't anybody as intense as the chief. Did he grab
No,
anybody's face mask?
hell no. He didn't have. Well, I did, Bob. He didn't have to, man. I mean, we had a lot of guys that would have put us in check before the coaches had to put us in check. So, that's
Yeah.
just what I'm saying. I mean, it's a just different situation. I mean, and I don't understand what coach was doing. I understand. That's just it. I understand. People, everybody got it wrong. What I was trying to let everybody know, but it just wasn't the right time. Period. If you guys ever play football, sports, or anything like that, and heck, I know, like what David said, he realized what Coach was doing to get him in check. But what was you really doing to make you get in check? Was you goofing off? Was you doing something? Were you slacking? I'm saying what JG did was a mistake. So are you gonna grab his face mask every time he do have a mistake? Every time he throw a pick? Every time he fumble? Just that one time. Just because that doesn't mean he fixed JG. That's what I'm trying to do. I mean, everybody think that because he did that, that fixed him. That didn't, because if that fixed him, they would not kept on taking him in and out the game to put another quarterback in and all that stuff. So that didn't fix him. Let's
Do you
see.
think do you think that Jeremy Pruitt has a too quick of a temper?
I'm not sure. I mean, I'm quite sure he has one behind the scenes, but he has kept his poise on the sidelines, since he's been here. Only times he lost it, when he's getting in the referee's butts like he should have been on the times that it has happened. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know him enough to realize if he do have a short temper. But, most coaches in practice, they all have short tempers in practice now. Because
Hmm.
they got to get you right and get you ready for the game. And if it takes that screaming at you or doing that stuff, but it's a way to do it though, Bobby. I mean, when you do, you can't just like for instance, all the things I was told how Butch Jones treated those kids and talked to those kids.
Hmm.
He belittled those kids. He talked them, called them out of their names. He did not respect those kids. And that's a totally difference what I mean by when like he short temper, short fuse. Coach Chavis had a short temper, short fuse in practice. Coach
Yeah.
Chavis had a short fuse, short temper at halftime.
Well, if what you is telling me this is true, and I'm not going to repeat it, but if he made that player write on the chalkboard that many times, what I heard he wrote on the chalkboard, oh no, that ain't right.
Oh, most definitely, Bob.
That ain't right. Out of all your coaches, besides Chief and Fulmer, the two main ones, who had to who got in your butt and yelled the most? I know it wasn't Coach Caldwell because we sat in his office for an hour and he is just as nice as he can be. But who you laughing like he ain't out like that on the practice field?
Hey, Bobby, I'm telling you, man. Put it like this here. You know when you got your trainee in that truck right there,
Yeah,
and then you know when you got your trainee in when he's in front of people.
yeah.
It's a different
Okay.
way, huh?
So he'd get in you.
Oh man, all of them were like that, man. I mean, I'm not gonna say like Coach Caldwell was not like a bear or like wow or just screaming. He had ways to make you feel smaller than what you really was, you know. And you can tell, you see he's real smooth, man. He's real cool,
Oh
calm,
yeah.
and collected. But now, if you ever want him to get PO'd, hey, practice will not be easy that day. It will not be easy, man. They know how to get you, man. They know how to come up with stuff on that practice field to make you not ever want to do the same thing ever again.
When you
But
was playing, wasn't he DN coach?
yeah, he was defensive end coach then. Hey man, he coached a lot of great defensive ends.
How was Coach Brooks?
Coach Brooks was old school, man. He was straight military style, man. He was. If you ever meet him, Bobby, he's every bit of what you see on the film, on the tape, out there. He's quiet, but if you ever get on that bad side, oh god.
You know what I always remember, and some of y'all don't know, probably wouldn't know who Coach Brooks was, but I'm gonna tell you, as soon as I describe him to you, you'll know exactly who he is. He was the coach that had his hat on backwards all the time and had that drop down mustache.
That was him. The stash.
Hmm.
Yeah, Coach Brooks, man, he was cool, man. But if you ever messed up and let's say you go out there to practice and he's already taught you all these things and he's showed you all your mistakes you did and on the film and you go back after the next day in practice and do the totally opposite. Man, man, man. You're talking about we gonna be doing that shoot, going to be getting, he's going to have this little, and the shoot was, let me tell you what the shoot was, Bobby. You have a dummy at the end of it, like a sled, but it was kind of like it had four legs on it, and it was about maybe 4.5 feet tall, if that, maybe. And you had to get in your stance, and you had to go all the way to the end of it without keeping your pad levers low. Now, if you raise up, you're gonna hear what's called "bing," and you don't want to hear that thing because it's gonna hurt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Coach Brooks, man, he was tough, man. He was old school. I mean, he didn't use any gimmicks on the field. Or like he always everything he had, it was created. He made it himself. I didn't care if it was like some ropes or something. He's gonna make a figure eight out the ropes or something. And he was so old school, man, and it worked. He did, I mean, I can't imagine what he did. He if he had all the new technology and stuff.
You know what we need to do for a show? You need to get JC back on the show, and y'all need to have a show with nothing but Coach Brooks's
Oh
sayings.
gosh.
All his
Oh
sayings.
man, hey, there's so many sayings, man. So many, man. Hey, and the ones that always stand out to me, man. I mean, of course, one I say on the show, I ain't get to say it today, man. He always came like, "Hey, great day to be alive, guys. Great day to get better." And next after that, you always hear Coach Caldwell about it. Let's go, guys. Let's go. I'm like, Coach, why are you whistling us like we puppies, man?
What was that one that Bill Duff said when you had him on the show? Something about you can't fly with eagles if you
Hey,
fly with turkeys or owls or
he,
something. I
he
don't remember, but
said,
it was shit.
he said, if your asses can fly with the owls at night, you make sure you can get your asses up with the eagles in the morning. And he was always saying it because it'd be like, they always had like a morning run or something or anything like that. The night, like the day after, they knew it was a big party that was going on because they knew we was gonna go to the party and have a good time. So it was always morning runs, 5 a.m. that next morning or something, and that was he would always say that because, of course, they have the four garbage cans on each corner, each thing where everybody's throwing up or something. Man, I like that hat, by the way, man.
I was waiting. I was sitting there. I was going, how long was he going to say something until he says something about my hat? I was just fixing to say, go to the chat, and I can't believe you didn't say nothing about
I,
my hat.
I like the hat, man. I'm about to go get that one, man. You
I
can't,
got the last one, bro.
man. Well, he gonna order me another one then. In fact, he's gonna order all the ones I actually want.
You know what I don't like about this hat? I don't like the color of the orange.
Hey, you ever heard of donations?
Yeah, I'll donate it to you. You can have it.
Because you
I
don't.
just had to wear something new.
I say I can how like my man Slay said, I can transition that hat into Billy Rat.
Well, check out Facebook and YouTube. Give some shout outs, read some comments, and see
Let's
who
go
all's in
see
here.
here. Who we got? Aaron Ross said, after Pruitt grabbed JG by the face mask, we didn't lose another game.
That's true.
So the face mask is why we won those games, huh? Yeah, them goal line stands against Kentucky sure didn't win those games. Okay, let's see. Joanne said, "Did walking around the neighborhood get catfish to his weight, to his goal weight?"
No,
Well, he
I don't even think I lost an ounce that week.
well, I think yeah, I
I
think
was
he.
there. I was there at your house. What, 2 or 3 weeks? I was there a while. I don't think I lost anything.
Oh man, let's see here. Let's see. Aaron said before that face mask pull, everyone was complaining about Pruitt not showing enough emotions on the sideline. Oh, he
No,
had
they
plenty of
wasn't.
emotions, man.
Oh man, he kicked the whiteboard. Remember when he kicked the whiteboard and everybody was criticizing him for that? And he broke a headset one time.
Man, I'm finna say he had plenty of emotions, man. I mean, the thing is, you got like here. So you guys got to understand this here, though, man. You know, I know that's what you guys want to see,
Yeah,
but you also got to understand this. You have 67 people behind you watching you do that.
hmm
So think of this here, then, guys. If you can do those things, why can't I do those things? So if I blow up and go off like that, why don't I get the same reactions from people saying, "Oh, that's good job from screaming at the coaches. Good job for screaming at the referee." I'm saying that it is a time and place for all those situations. Screaming, yelling, and all that, man, that's too much energy, man. You have a stroke doing all that stuff. This is a
yeah,
business place now. This is your job. Have class. Practice is where you get to do all that. Is when you're supposed to do it. You don't do that stuff in your interview. This is totally different. This is coming from me. I'm not saying this from anybody else that plays, but I'm telling from me. I don't need that. I don't need someone to chew me out 24/7 if I did something wrong, especially during the game. Because you can mess up a player's head quickly, especially a quarterback, man. You don't need to do that with them. You know, I mean, he already got enough on his ass right now. And then for you to do that to him, come on, man.
yeah. Well,
And,
here's how I feel about it. The yank of the face mask bothers me, but it doesn't bother me. Not like it does you. What would bother me is I would want to know what he said. I don't know what it is. It's just maybe it's a character flaw with me, but words will get me fired up more than anything else. And if he used bad language or said something, that would have probably set me off more than anything. But you're right, practice is where that needs to be. But I don't mind the fire during the game. I like seeing it. But hey, we ask these players, hey, don't hit late, don't do something stupid, don't keep your emotions under control. And they're the ones out there with all the adrenaline pumping, and they've got to keep their emotions in check. And it's a lot harder to do that when you're getting out there getting hit all the time than it is being on the sideline. So I don't know. It bothers me, but it doesn't bother
yeah,
me. It just
I'm the
depends on
same
this,
way.
like you said, the situation. If I saw that in practice, I'd love to see it. I want to
I'm,
see that in practice.
I mean, I'm
I
cool with
better
it.
see that in practice.
I
I
mean, I'm,
better see that in practice.
oh, it's in there. It's automatic. I mean, it's no holds bars in practice. I mean, that's where the games are won and lost at is practice, Bobby.
Yep.
That is the biggest motto of every team, every sports player, everybody. If you do sports and if you're not winning and losing in practice, you ain't worth a nothing when it comes game time. I'm serious. That is what is all in here. My coaches told me when I was 20 young, yeah, my coach McCray from junior high. That's what he always say. Hey, that's what the game is won and lost at, baby. Practice.
Hey, you touched on it a little bit ago. It don't matter what the coach is doing, but if he ain't winning, he's doing it wrong. And
Exactly.
if he's winning, people don't say a word. Like you said, well, Nick Saban can do it. Well, he's winning. If you
Exactly.
ain't winning, they're going to find anything they can to pick apart what you're not doing right or what you're doing that's wrong.
And
So
and
long as they win it, I don't care.
and here, Bobby, yeah, you remember when I told you that this recruiting class is I said this recruiting class is going to be the class that put us on the map, bring us
Hmm
back into competing with the SEC. But I also said that I know it's going to be so much negativity out of having a great class where no one just sit back and enjoy having a class, but they're gonna find something negative about it. They already saying. So what is Tennessee doing to get these recruits?
I've already seen it on the internet.
I'm like, okay, guys. So have you ever thought of that? This coaching staff is just that good. You
Hey,
understand?
you don't think that that our rival coaches ain't bringing up that head grab? It still ain't affecting them. We're still getting the players.
Yeah,
You know they're talking bad about us.
and
All them coaches on the recruiting trip
that
that's in the
is.
conference is doing that.
Let's see, just see. Let's go over and check. Yeah, let me see the chat up here on YouTube. Killer Moms. Good morning, Billy and Bobby.
Kelly Mime, great Georgia fan.
Let's see. Dwayne is RTR Road Time Road. Is that what
Yeah, that's what it is.
that
Hey. You know why I like Dwayne RTR the most on YouTube? Because he's got a son that's a Tennessee fan.
is? Okay. Yeah, what he said. Good. He said, "Good morning, Bobby and Billy. Nice pitch, guys. Road Tide. You know the pitch he talking about, man. I put that one up that Sean drew of us, man. The one that's
Oh yeah,
the
he
one.
made me look fat. He made me look fat in that. I'm gonna have to get him to draw another one where I don't look so fat.
Bobby, that's not fat, man. You know that's
He did that on purpose.
Bobby. I'm telling you, I'm gonna tell you what that is. That is abstract.
Oh no, that's me too fat. You know what he did for my birthday? Did you see that Photoshop thing he did for my birthday,
That's
where he
it,
had this
man.
big old fat guy and photoshopped my face to it?
I didn't see it, but I can imagine what he did, man.
I'll send it to you after the show.
Because he's the master of cropping or doing that to.
Hmm. Hey, if he drew Craig King like he drew me, I see why Craig King was gonna kill him.
Let's see. LSU Tiger Cat said, "Hello, Aaron Ross. Good morning, y'all." Justin
Hey,
C.
Tiger Cat,
Justin C. said, "Y'all call in and talk to my friend Jason Swain on the Swain event."
we didn't do that. We might have Jason Swain on our show one time.
Yeah. Let's see. And Aaron, ever since Pruitt grabbed JG by the face, man, we have landed tons of recruits and have not lost another game. That is not why we are getting these recruits, man. These recruits, these coaches are telling the kids the right things now.
Yeah.
And the right things, to me personally, they should be saying things like this. Guys, we don't have any starters here. We don't have. You got a chance to come play right away or compete to play right
Hmm.
away. And you talking about we are the most talked about team right now.
We are. We're all season national champs.
Right now, everybody wants a piece of the Volunteers. Now, wouldn't it be special if you guys came to Tennessee right now and been part of that and let them know that we are the real deal?
Hey, you know what they need to be doing? They need to say, all right, your class right here, go into the player's living room with his mama or grandma and say, look here, this class that you could be a part of could be just like the live class from 95 that built what we had in the 90s. You could be the 95 class.
Bobby, and this is and believe it or not, man, this is I'm looking back now. This is exactly how it's brewing, man. I mean, it's crazy that it's almost like it's turning around again, coming back around again, and I hope that's what it is because that's how the recruiting classes have come. We had all the good kids. The quarterbacks came last year's class, and all that. We call that the Peyton Manning or whatever, however, and that's with Harrison Bailey.
Hmm.
And
That was the 94 class.
yes,
But the 95 class had the leaders, Al
yes,
Wilson,
yes, and that's what
Big Worm.
the that's what we are missing with the Volunteers right now is leadership. Guys that take that up on their shoulders and go with it. Not just the quarterback, not just because we still didn't have that on defense. No one stepped up last year and said that I got this, or chewing out their teammates to tell them get their asses in the right spots. We didn't have that. We had one player last year on Tennessee team that
And
took
it
that
was
up
a
on their
wide
shoulder.
receiver.
Yes, And he did that. He made it because he felt that no one else out there was doing it.
Look, I appreciate that he was the dog on the team. But if you're going to have an alpha dog on the team, I would rather it be a middle linebacker like Big Al than I would my wide receiver. There's something wrong when your wide receiver is the alpha dog on your team. Am I right?
You're right, man, because hey, typically it is a linebacker that is the most outspoken or a D end D lineman. That's normally how it is, and that's every team. You go back and look at it, go to the NFL. Every person that's mic'd up majority of the time is one of two players: the quarterback or is a linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
And 95% of the time, it's a linebacker because they're the ones they're doing all the talking, they're doing all these things here, and that's just how it is. Let's see here. We got Ballard Sportsman say, "Hey, catfishing Billy."
What's up,
Uh,
Ballard?
let's see. Is that
He's an Alabama fan.
It says, "Is this Maury Matera? Is that Maria Mar? Is that Maury?"
Yeah, Mary Mattel, Mary
Yeah.
Mattel.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good morning.
She's always in there.
Okay. So that's what she said. Good morning, Mr. Ratliff and Mr. Catfish. We got VTW. Good morning, guys. He said, "Go dogs."
Uh oh. Uh oh.
Oh man, Michael Torton. He said, "Morning from the boat," and then he deleted
Yeah,
the
he's my.
message.
Let me tell you something about Michael Tarleton. He's a Vols fan. He's up in Kentucky, and I'm gonna be going through his neck of the woods today. But he's my fishing buddy. But we ain't ever been fishing. That's a hint. He's my fishing buddy, but we ain't ever been fishing.
What's going on with that then?
I don't know, but we're going to though.
Hey, make it happen. Let's see. Then we got VTW said, "Calm down, man." He said, "Every year some teams are top 10 recruiting because they simply have more verbals than other schools. When the big boys start rolling come December, the summer top 5 classes drop to 15 to 20." Yeah, I mean,
We ain't dropping.
I don't see that. I mean, yes, I know that will happen as far as like, the other schools will start getting recruits, but they're not getting recruits right now. We're getting
Yeah.
recruits when we shouldn't be getting these recruits. You know,
And we're getting 5 stars.
you
Normally,
know, and
5 stars wait till the end where they can do an announcement on ESPN. There's only 30 some 5 stars in the country every year.
and look, and somebody, I don't forget who it was saying that they got like Tennessee got a whole bunch of 3 stars. Well, 3 stars, that's the majority of the kids that's in high school
Hmm.
are 3 stars. Now, when you
Hmm.
start talking about the 4 and 5 stars, those kids are a little bit better. But you're talking about a couple, thousands of 3 stars that are great players, and a lot of those 3 star kids, they don't get the recognition they deserve because they can't afford to go to these big camps. They can't go
Yeah.
to some of these places to show their talent and things like that. They have to do it the hard way,
Hmm. Well,
and
you
I
think about this, Billy. They didn't have stars back in your day, but players like Al Wilson, Torrey Noel,
Mhm.
Tyrone Hines, they probably, if they were had stars, they'd probably be
No,
3 stars.
no. I mean, heck, I'm Bobby. I don't think I had a star.
It was like back in your day, it was like you said on the show before, it was the top 5 in each state.
Yeah, it was a top. Yeah, so I mean, it was different back then, man. I mean, I like the old school way, but I mean, in fact, we need to bring some of the old school ways back. And I'm gonna start out with the first thing I wish they would bring back with the old school way is the ranking of college football teams. And I'm gonna tell you what I mean by the rankings. The rankings, I mean, if number one Alabama loses to LSU that's receiving votes, and instead of them dropping 3, 4 spots, they need to be dropping to number 23.
I remember those days. You lost, you was out.
Because now they got to climb the ropes again to get back in there under those
Hmm.
teams that are undefeated.
I think that ranking thing's rigged anyway, but that's all
Oh
right.
man, it is, man. That's why I miss the old school way, Bobby. The old school way, man. If you go back to the old school way and kind of correlate it with the new school way of how the rankings are, and try to plug in the teams that should have been in there compared to how they do it now, it's crazy, man. I just wish it was different because I hate it when Bama loses to a garbage team, or if they even lose to a team that's ranked below them and they still above the team that they lost to.
Yeah, that's happened a couple times.
Oh, it
Not just
happened.
with Bama, but with other teams.
Yes, it happens. Ohio State is another one.
Yep. Yep. Ohio State's the worst.
Yes, I mean I like the old school ways, man. Oh man, it said VTW. He said getting 5 stars are overrated. If you can't coach them up, hate to say
That's
it, but
true.
look at my dog's 5 star.
Yeah, that's all they got is 5 stars.
Oh man, yeah, you guys have had some bad luck, man. I mean, I don't say I guess because I don't believe in stars, man. Like 5 stars here. If you're gonna category, you can put those kids in categories with the 5 stars and stuff, And I know they don't have that many of them though. A 5 star player should be, let's see here, most definitely should be a Peyton Manning, most definitely should be a Tua, should be a Derrick Henry,
Hmm.
should be, those caliber players that oh my God, this kid here, right now, I think he can play in the NFL. That's when you talk about 5 stars, instant
Hmm.
greatness when you see it where it's hard to duplicate what they do on the field. That's what
I
five
saw
stars
I
are.
saw something on I think it was last year. I don't know when it was, but it's been recent. That they went through the first 2 rounds of the draft, and like 75% of the people drafted in the first 2 rounds were 3 stars
Yes, it
and four
happens
stars.
it happens a lot, man, because
Now there's more of them, but there was a lot of 5 stars that don't get drafted. What
many of
happened?
them, man, many of them. I mean,
It's in their head. It's
it
between their ears.
is
They come to campus,
so.
Billy, thinking they're the thing, and I think that messes with them when they get too much hype coming on campus.
And that's what happens, Bobby. Whenever they get on campus, get on that field, they already the bullseye because everybody's gonna test that 5 star.
Hmm.
You are they telling you this and telling you that you the this and that. You the best running back since sliced bread. Whoo, you better be ready to prove it when you get there, man.
Hmm.
And most
And
of the time,
don't be talking about Tyrone Hines in the newspaper.
hey, I've seen it before, man. I've
I
seen
know
it.
that's why I brought it. What was it? Was
Oh
it
man,
Brian Darden or
man, it was
who talked about Tyrone Hines in the
man, it was a
newspaper?
day. He stepped in a bunch of. He put himself in a situation right there, man, because they was on him like white on rice daily, man. I mean, he ended up. I mean, they ended up having a name for him, man. They instead of calling him, his initials. We used to call Brian Darden BD because of his initials. Well, before they start calling him CP. Everybody say, "What is CP?" Crowd pleaser, baby. We gonna make sure we gonna make some noise for the crowd.
Well, read
uh,
off some more chats so we can get out of
all
here. It's
right, man.
already a
Let's go
quarter
back over
to.
to the Facebook here. See, well, Bobby Kirsten said, "Good morning, Catfish." She said, "How are those
Morning.
ribs?"
Oh, I ate them. Let me tell you something. When we did the show that next morning, I was waiting on a load, and I was sitting back there and I was cleaning up a little bit. I opened up my refrigerator to organize them, and I saw that Ziploc bag of ribs. I threw them right in the microwave right then.
Your truck was smelling like smoke for days.
Yep, yep.
Oh man, let's see here. Bernice Jones said, "Do you think they would let the students be able to go to the Tennessee football games?" Well, I mean, they're already talking about starting out with different stages to get campus back going, but if there's no students on campus, there's not going to be any games.
Yeah.
Because if the students are not on campus, we don't have anybody to play. Because remember, the football players are students. If they're not allowed to come back to campus, it's not gonna happen. So that's up in the air right now. I mean, and the way it's looking, guys, I don't want to say it.
Don't even start. Don't start. Don't start. There better be some football on Catfish's TV the first weekend in September.
Oh, let's see. David Newcomb said those recruits don't give a dang about JP grabbing a dang helmet. That's true, man. That's what I said. Ken Housley said, "Good morning." How you doing? Good morning, Ken. Let's see here.
What's up, Ken? He's been coming in our streams here lately. Good to have you.
Yep. He said, "Hey, David said, gotta remember, Eric Berry was a 3-star.
Yep.
Bryce
Yep.
Brown was a 5-star.
Mm-hmm.
Stars don't mean jack. They don't, man. They don't
Where did
mean
Bryce
jack."
Brown? He transferred and went
Yes, he did.
somewhere,
He was a good one,
Kansas
man.
or
He was a
something.
good one, man. It was just too many players at that time. He couldn't. It was different, man. But you're right, man. I mean, that's just stars, man. It's overrated. It is. Stars are overrated, man.
Let me tell you why they have 4 and 5 and 3 stars. You know why? To sell magazines, Rivals magazines.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they got that in there.
Well, that's it, man. That's it, dude. I mean, and the guys that are getting these stars, man, are there. No, don't get me wrong. Now there are some legit 5 stars out there, based on what they say a 5 star should represent.
Hold up, Billy. Hold up, Billy. I guarantee you, these coaches know who's 5 stars. They don't have to look at some Rivals magazine. Is he a 3 star, 4 star, five? If they're a good coach and a good recruiter, they can see that without any hype. They know. They know who these players are.
Most definitely, man. Because you know, I don't like that. If coaches are recruiting by the stars, they're in trouble.
Yep, they need to go work at Tractor
They're in
Supply or
trouble
something.
because if they're not doing how the old school word, I don't know why I don't like these words. They're not doing their due diligence. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
they will have a good team.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you go and just say, okay, I'm gonna get all these 5 star players. If you go
Mm-hmm.
get every 5 star player and they're on one team, I guarantee you that team that picked up all those 4 and 3 star players will be way better.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh
know,
yeah.
because there's too many kids out there that don't get a shot to be a 5 star. They don't get the opportunity because they don't get a chance to go to these big camps and showcase that stuff. And yes, I know it's good to go do these things, but guess what? My defensive linemen, my offensive linemen, the punters, the kickers, they can't go to these camps. They don't have camps for them to showcase that. The 7-on-7, something else. That's another overrated thing. I know it's good, but it has made it bad for football in a sense. They got people missing football practices in high school to go do 5-on-5 tournaments now. I mean 7-on-7 tournaments. It's bad, man. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not helping, but when there's these tournaments, because they are making money off this stuff, man. They're
Oh
charging
yeah.
crazy fees just to showcase your talent to who? There's a handful of colleges may go out there and watch this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but
And the most famous of them all is the Peyton Manning Passing Academy.
yep. But now that
And
camp
that was
there,
one of the originals. Those that's the OG of camp.
yep.
So
Hey, if you invited to that one, you got to
you
be
somebody.
special because you know what I'm saying. You got kids that are coming from college. Heck, you got pro people that go to this camp.
Yeah.
It's the real deal, man. I mean, you got guys that are training to what you supposed to, man. And that's what you want, man. But hey, man, you know what I just thought about, man? Hey, I actually got a haircut yesterday, Bob.
Did you?
Man, I
I
got a
told you I was going to give you. You didn't pay for it, did you? Because I was
man.
going to do it for free. You might have been a little crooked, but it'd have been free.
Because barbershops are shut down because they are they
Still?
yeah. I mean, some of them are opening up, but they still not. I mean, I know that most of the barbershops in Knoxville are not open. Like my normal barber that I go to, their shop is not open at all,
Mm,
and it's tough out there for those guys, man. They can't make no money or anything. I mean,
yeah.
I can't even imagine. But you know who? I mean, the animals like PetSmart, they're still cutting dogs' hair. They
Don't get me
haven't stopped,
started.
man. I guess they said they told them the dogs don't carry the virus. They can cut it, man. But hey, I want to give a shout out to my barber that cut my hair yesterday, man. He did a great job, man. Jason Taylor, man. He's here in Knoxville. I mean, I'm gonna put your phone number on my page, man. So anybody, cause he'll come to your house if you want him to. I mean, and he great price. I mean, you can't beat this. So we will. I'll put that up there, man. And then hold on, Chris, come here, buddy.
Oh, show your puppy off.
Uh,
This is the prettiest dog. His eyes,
Tell everybody, hey, buddy. Hey, it's my boy Cozy right here, guys.
named
Uh,
after Cozy Coleman.
everybody asks me where you get that name from. I tell them, hey, I had two names I was gonna name a dog. It was gonna be the BB or CC, which I didn't name them neither one of those. But they asked me what do those initials mean. And I said, hey, well, BB. I normally name my dogs after tough opponents or people that are tough to go against that just hard. And BB was Brandon Birdsworth from Arkansas. And then they said, who was CC? Cozy Cozen from Tennessee.
Was he really that hard to practice to
Oh
go up against?
man. Cozy was a ox. He was
Man,
that strong, man, and I'm telling you, he was a monster, man. He was. That's why it was so easy for me in games, Bobby. I had to go against this man every day, man. And I'm telling you, if I didn't have a stinger, he got a stinger. It was brutal daily, man. I mean, it'd be days that we try to tell each other, hey man, we gonna take it easy today. And sure
hey,
enough,
we had an offensive lineman because you had on that right side you had Cozy at guard and you had Rito at tackle,
hmm
and on the other side you had Chad Clifton and was Spencer Riley.
Spencer Riley
Was
was
he the
center.
center? That's right. Who was the guard over there?
Mercedes Hamilton.
That's right, Mercedes Hamilton.
Man, it was.
Man, y'all
Whew,
had a line.
man, we had some guys, man. I need to get some of those guys on here, man, and talk
You need
about
to.
the positions, man. Like the O line, D line, the forgotten positions, man. We were in the ditch. We had to get out of the ditch for people to recognize who we were, Bobby. Because a lot of people don't know half the offensive linemen.
Well, Rito came over and brought Mexican over, and we ate with Rito and Jarvis Rito and his wife. For those of you don't know, that's a teammate of Billy's, played right tackle. Great person. He was a great player, but even a better person. But he was telling me how, man, he hated Lover's Lane, hated Billy Ratliff because Billy Ratliff wouldn't shut up in Lover's Lane.
Hey, Bobby, that was part of my game, man. You gotta get in their heads, Bobby. Get them smiling, laughing at them, and tell them what they gonna do, even though you don't know what they gonna do. They used to get mad, and I said, I already know what you about to do. Y'all, he's about to double team. You gonna rub him, try to go to linebacker, ain't that right? It's like, man, coach, man, Worm know everything we doing, man. You gotta tell him. We gotta say, then you gotta tell him, stop showing me the play. Hey, Cozy about to pull.
Jarvis told me on Lover's Lane when he'd go up against Billy, he said it'd be hotter than you don't know what. He said we're about to pass out and Billy's over there yapping, jumping up and down. He said I hated Billy Ratliff at Lover's Lane.
Oh man, it
I
was
can
just
see it
fun,
now.
man. Hey, that was the best thing ever, man. For practice, I used to love Lover's Lane, man. It was just a whole section of pass rush, D line against the O line, and it was one on one. one on one, it's hard to block anybody one on one. I think, especially
Yeah.
a defensive tackle that's benching 500 pounds and that can run a
Hmm.
4.5 40. It's hard to block them kind of guys like Ron Green, Darren
Mm.
Walker. You can't block those guys one on one. I mean, it's hard. And if offensive linemen, I feel bad for you guys, man. If you don't have help, it sucks, man. That's why it's always hard for me to go against two people. You know, they have to have 600, 700 pounds to block me, Bobby.
Well, sometimes Jarvis watches it. So, Jarvis, if you watch, I'm sorry. I had to tell the story, bro.
Oh man.
Anyway, you ready to wrap this thing up? Is there anybody else in the chat before we close this thing down? I'm going to
Nah,
switch hats while you check it.
actually, that's everything, man. We got it all down packed, man.
All right. Y'all know what's coming next. Thanks for tuning in. Go Vols. Jeremy Pruitt and the boys up there on the hill, the coaches, they ain't through yet. There's still going to be a lot more big recruits. I promise you that. RTR and Killer Mime and all y'all in the chat,
Yes,
we ain't
sir.
done.
Most definitely, Bobby. All right, guys, we're out. Peace.